Thursday, and it's time for
Craig and Ryland's Magic Review Show.
I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
Welcome back to another review show right here on Magic TV. We are back here in the studio after being away for 2 weeks in London doing BGT, and I am going to do a little interview with you on the channel at some point. But very quickly, did you have a good time?
Yes.
You are officially, according to Alicia Dixon, what does she call you? The King
of the Rubik's Cubes.
King of the Rubik's Cube, the King of Cubes. That's a really good thing to put on your website. Not that you've got a website, but that's really cool. It's good social proof. Thanks to everybody that said really nice things about Ryland's audition. It's a shame you didn't get through to the final, but you smashed the semi-final, buddy. And also, a lot of people were saying that they liked the show that we did at the hotel because they liked you having a seat. Would you like a seat?
Yeah.
Do you think you deserve a seat?
Yes.
Okay.
After standing up this whole time.
After standing up since you were 7, you're now 9. Now you're more famous than me. I think you need a seat. What do you reckon?
We'll switch.
No, we're not
Get
switching.
off.
No, it's not be too high for the camera. But I tell you what, probably not for the next review show, but for one after that, we'll get a seat. How's that sound?
Yeah.
But we're back on the review show right now, and we have 4 brand new tricks that we're going to be looking at. And the first trick. It's always an exciting time right here at Magic TV when we get to review a new Alakazam magic trick, and it's even more exciting when it's a name that's synonymous with Alakazam, which is the one and only Nikolas Mavresis. You love Nikolas Mavresis. Yes. You also love Alakazam. We're going to be looking at Nikolas's new trick through Alakazam, and we're going to do that right now. Okay, so first up we have a trick called Personalities. It's by Nikolas Mavresis. It's been put out through Alakazam Magic. This is Personalities. This is what it is. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. We're not going to talk about it. I'm going to get Ryland to do a performance on his mom. So you're going to perform it, right?
Yes.
Then when he's performed it, we're going to talk about exactly what we think. So let's have a look at a full performance of Personalities by Alakazam Magic and Nikolas Mavresis.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dad, but I'm doing this for Mum.
Okay, fair enough.
Right, Mummy, I'm going to do a personality test. I've got a bunch of different cards here, a bunch of different things.
Right.
And I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and we're going to spell the answers. We've got travel, we've got doors, we've got shapes, colours, music, movies, rate your temper, 1 to 4, and food.
Right.
Okay, so we're going to start with movies. So 3 questions, and we're going to spell the answers. Okay, so on movies here, we've got mystery, comedy, fantasy, fiction, action, romance, and horror. I like to pick one of them.
Romance.
Romance. Now, you sure you want romance?
Yeah.
I'm going to spell romance, okay?
Yep.
R-O-M-A-N-C-E. Okay, so we end up with music.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got dance, blues, reggae, opera, rock, pop, metal, hip-hop, funk, and jazz.
Pop.
Pop. Can I show you on pop?
Yep.
P-O-P. So we end up with food. So we've got Mexican, Chinese, Italian, and Spanish.
Chinese.
Chinese. Are you sure you want Chinese?
Yep.
O-E-S-E. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so we're gonna put so you ended up, that's 3 questions. We've got rate your temper on a scale from 1 to 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna put that aside. And on the back of these have these different things like food. If you pick food, you are warm and caring soul. You are a warm and caring soul. You are bubbly with a great sense of humour. Colours seem brighter when you are around. The world is better because you are in it. You are the ray of sunshine on a dreary day.
Mm-hmm.
You are a constant reminder of all that is beautiful. And there's one more, and that is you have a heart as big as the world.
Right.
But you ended up on this one.
Right. I tried to think what you...
Now this one, guess what it... Well, on the back of here, you have a face that'll make the onion cry.
That's just so rude. Unbelievable.
Oh my god!
Didn't know you had a face that'll make an onion cry. That is awesome.
You love this, don't you? You love this because you get a chance to tell people that they've got a face that, what is it? They've got a face that would make an onion cry. Basically, what it is here, what you just saw is basically what the trick is. It is completely self-working, isn't it?
Yes.
There's no skill whatsoever. We watched the tutorial. You could do it immediately. It's an instant reset. As long as you have the cards in a particular order, you are good to go. Now, one thing that I do want to point out to you is you get a few different cards. And the reason for this, when Nikolas first created this trick, he had it set up for a different out. And how he originally had it set up is whatever they end up with is the only nice remark, and all the other ones are horrible remarks. So it's like you do the same trick as you saw Ryland do, and then you turn them over one at a time, and it's like you've got a face like a squashed onion or whatever it is. You know, you're the reason that evolution exists. They've got all these horrible things, and then the one that they pick is something nice like you're awesome. And when Peter Nardi saw it, he's probably got the same personality as me and you, and he's like, I'd much rather do this and have them have the one that they pick being like more of the horrible type of outcome. And so you get two sets in this. You actually get two ways of doing it. You get the way that Nikolas does it, and you've got the way that Peter does it as well. Wayne and Peter present the opening of the tutorial, Wayne Goodman and Peter Nardi, and they do a great job.
Yes.
Nikolas Mavresis goes through the technical side of things, not that there's much technical. There's a couple of extra cards that you can switch in and out as well that gives people other options.
Yes.
But other than that, it's self... Oh, there is one other thing to point out.
Yes.
The card that you get, like in this case, it's you have a face that would make an onion cry. You get 3 different versions of this. So you've got a face that make an onion cry. You've got another one that says the next round's on you. So if you're doing this as a drinking game, it kind of says to them they've got to buy the next round. And you've got another one that I haven't shown you that's very naughty, and you should only use that for adult audiences. So next time I go to a military base, that's the one I'll be using. It's got swearing. No, because I know that even though you put your fingers in your ears, you can still hear. You can still hear. You can still. I'm not falling for that. I'm not going to get fooled by a 9-year-old anymore.
No, because my ears.
Okay, right, I'm going to push down really hard. Here we go. You're an absolute cock. There we go.
What was it?
It doesn't matter. Now, so, and you've got 3 versions of the nice one as well. Now, I know you love this. Tell me why you love it. I want to know exactly why you love this.
I just think that's really funny. I'm an onion.
You want to do this at every single gig, just so you can turn around to everybody and say, hey, I've got this personality test right now. Let's test what your personality is like. Oh, this is nice, this is nice, this is nice, this is nice. You got a face that make an onion cry. I think it's even more hilarious having a 9-year-old pull that on you. I think it's really funny. I think it's great. So it's very practical because it's completely self-working. No table is required. You can do it anytime, anywhere. I'll tell you who really likes this and started doing it a lot. Nemid Phoenix. He told me the other day he takes this to every single gig with him.
Do people get angry?
Nah, I mean, look, here's the sort of thing. You wouldn't want to do this. There's certain times where you would do this, there's certain times when you wouldn't do this. And it kind of very much depends on the situation. If you've got a heckler or an alpha male, or you're in a gig where, you've got the type of audience you can get away with this, then you do it. This is probably the trick in that environment that would bring the house down. Like, forget about all your complicated sleight of hand, forget about everything else. This is the trick that everybody will remember. It's the sort of thing that you can have in your pocket. It takes up virtually no pocket space. You can have it in your pocket. You're good to go whenever you want to. And as long as you've got it, you have it there ready so that you can do it for that right time and that right place. And I do love this as well. It's typical Nikolas. He's taken a very old principle, applied it to something and made it brand new. I love this. I'm going to give this 98%.
I'm going to give this 100%. 120.
120 because it's Alakazam and it's Nikolas, right? 120%. Instant reset, easy to do, no skill, engaging plot, no table. It ticks all of the boxes. It's a real commercial working routine, but if you're an amateur or a hobbyist, it's a fun trick to do as well. It's very good. Well done, Alakazam. Well done, Nikolas. Let's move on to the next review. So next up, we have, by Kyle Purnell and Vanishing Inc., we have Big Picture. Now, I remember when I interviewed Kyle a few months ago, he showed me this, and if you go back and look at the Talk Magic interview, you'll actually see him performing an early version of this. This is the final product. This is really clever. Like, this is really, really clever. I don't want to say anything about it. I want to perform it for you in case you haven't seen it. So I'm gonna do a full performance so you can see exactly what it looks like, and then after the performance, I'll tell you why it's so clever. Okay, Ryan, I'm going to show you something with a pack of cards. First of all, I should tell you that these cards are blank. They're not normal playing cards. They don't have backs. They have blank backs. And I've written words on the front of these cards, and we'll get back to what those words are later on. Before I do anything, I should tell you that underneath the this cellophane of this card box, I've actually...
It looks like.
Yes, there are 2 cards. Did you see me practicing earlier on?
Maybe.
If I can just get them out. There we go. Yes, I've got 2 cards. I don't want you to see what the cards are, but I want you to see that I've got 2 cards. Well, I'm going to leave them... let me just take them out. I'm going to leave them here on top of the card box over there. We're going to get back to them in a little bit, okay?
Yes.
Once you remember that, I'll put those 2 cards there before we began. Now, I'm just going to give these cards a bit of a mix-up just to make sure that they're all mixed up. And then what I want you to do in a second, you're going to think of one of these cards, okay? And you can think of any one that you want to. It's completely your choice. I'm just going to go through. Don't say anything. Don't tell me when you've got it. I'm just going to go through some of these, and I just want you to think of one as they go past. Have you got one?
Yes.
You have. Brilliant. So I want you to think about this for a minute and seriously think about this, because you could have thought of anything. I mean, you could have had watch, you could have had water, keys, plane, pencil. You didn't tell me when you thought of one, so there's no way I could possibly know what you thought of. Would you agree?
Yes.
It was a completely random choice. It was in your head and your head only. But before we did anything, I put these 2 cards down here as a prediction. Do you remember?
Yes.
For the first time, what was the thing you were thinking of?
Diamond ring.
A diamond ring. So it could have been a plane. It could have been flowers. It could have been a shoe. It could have been a computer. It could have been a star. It could have been absolutely anything. But you went for a diamond ring. This one right here, correct?
Yes.
And that was a completely free choice. And like I say, you could have ended up with any of these. If you'd carried on, you could have got a dog or bed or pizza or anything like that.
That would have been good.
Dog would have been awesome, to be honest. But you ended up with a diamond ring. And like I said, I put these cards down here from the very beginning. And I was trying to predict that you would pick a diamond ring, which is why I did a little drawing on here of a diamond ring. Proof that I knew exactly what you were going to do. So that was Big Picture by Purnell.
I really like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so do I. I'll tell you why I like this so much. It's a really... First of all, it's impossible when you actually think about it. You know, it's almost like a holy grail.
Anything.
Yeah, they feel like they can pick anything. And it's not like they're taking something. You're just spreading through and you're just saying, just think of one. And then you go, have you got something? Yeah. From a spectator's point of view, there's no way you could do a force. And it's not a force, that's why.
Because they think of anyone.
They think of any one, and you don't even say stop when you've got one, or anything like that. They literally just think of any item that they want. And there's so many, in the routining and the way that the trick's structured, there's so many moments which reinforce that they could have thought of absolutely anything. And please remember, I mentioned earlier on about the Holy Grail, please remember, those 2 prediction cards are put down from the very beginning in full view. They're put down there from the very beginning in full view. They think of anything, and it's only that, and then when they tell you what they thought of, you just take it out and you show that you've matched it exactly, and you've got the picture that matches whatever it is that they thought of. I mean, it's genius, really, when you think about it. The way that this is actually constructed and the way that this works. It's taken a principle that everybody uses and it's applied it in a very different way. And this isn't the sort of thing that Kyle normally comes up with. Kyle normally comes up with a type of magic where he's using sleight of hand, but he's making it look like it's a gimmick. In this case, this is a fully gimmick deck. There is no sleight of hand whatsoever. The gimmicks do all of the work for you. And here's the thing: it's pretty much instantly reset. It's about a 10-second reset. The cards,
I'd say
yeah.
about 20 seconds.
You'd say about 20-second reset.
Yeah, if you think about it.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, about 20-second reset. You're right. It's about 10 or 20-second reset. Not all the cards are examinable, but the cards that you've put down on the table are examinable. But it feels like all the cards are examinable because of how the routine's constructed. They can see everything. You're not hiding anything at any point.
Yes, you're not.
Which is also clean. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a prediction. Somebody thinks of something, and you've predicted it, and you've predicted it by putting those cards down there on the table from the very beginning. And it's also self-contained because because the cards, the prediction cards,
because of how it works,
are inside there. You're like ready to go, aren't you? You just literally take these out, and you're good to go anytime, any way you want to, which is great. There's nothing not to like about this. Easy to do. I mean, what have you got any questions on it?
I even think the tutorial's good.
Hey, man, tutorial's great. Kyle is one of the best teachers in Magic, and he goes through everything with a fine-tooth comb. What I find with Kyle is he explains things clearly enough that even a beginner could get it, but he doesn't labour the point. I've seen people that explain Magic, and they're talking about everything, and as a professional, somebody who's experienced, I just sit there going, just get on with it. Just get on with it. That's not the case with this. Like, seriously, the tutorial, you're 100% correct there. Yeah. The tutorial is really, really good. So my question to you, would you do this? Is this something that you would do?
Yes.
It is?
I would do this. I'm going to give this 95%.
You're going to give it 95%?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a typical Vanishing Ink quality product. You know, I mean, the packaging is good. Yeah. The trick is good. It's well made. It'll last you a long time. It's easy. It works in pretty much every environment. It's fooling. It's got a nice premise. You know what? I think you're on the money there, Ryan. 95%. I'm going to give this 95% as well. I think it's really good. We haven't discussed Trick of the Week. What do you think Trick of the Week should be? Personality. Okay. I think either personality or this, although they're all good. We've got some good, well, actually, 3 good tricks this week.
I just thought of the other one.
Yeah, I think that the other one's Trick of the Week, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The next trick that we're gonna review is Trick of the Week. This doesn't get Trick of the Week, but it's very close. Yes. It's really good. It's by Purnell. You can get it right now from Vanishing Ink. Now let's look at the Trick of the Week. So next up we have The Twins by John Morton. Now, this came out, custommagic.co.uk, present The Twins, a witch hand routine by John Morton. Includes an impromptu version, we'll talk about that. Yes, so this came out at Blackpool. And you and I were both very busy at Blackpool, and we didn't really get around to going around the dealer hall, did we? Like, you were busy demming on the Alakazam stand. I was just busy running around everywhere. Or watching lectures. And we just didn't have time to go around the dealer hall. But everybody I was speaking to said, have you seen The Twins by John Morton? Have you seen The Twins by John Morton? Have you seen The Twins by John Morton? I'm like, no, what is this? And I couldn't find it anywhere. I managed to get into the dealer hall at the end. Couldn't find it anywhere. And then it popped up on Murphy's. I'm like, amazing, I'm going to go buy this. So I bought it. We got it in. You know, we just said, this is Trick of the Week. This is absolutely incredible. We're going to do a performance of it before we talk about anything about it. But one thing that I will say is you've just come back from House of Secrets. We went to House of Secrets, didn't we, to watch Jasper Cherry do magic, because Jasper was there in Russ Brown's House of Secrets. He was performing close-up and then doing a stage show afterwards. And you got a chance to do some close-up magic as well. And you were working the room a bit, and you did this a few times, didn't you?
Yes, and I also did it to Jasper.
You did it to Jasper? Did it fool Jasper?
Yes, he was like, how does that work? And I told him.
Because it fooled me, and it fooled you. I'm not surprised it fooled Jasper. But it's also, I was seeing the reactions you were getting when you were doing this to real people as well. They were freaking out about this, weren't they? Yeah. Let's do a performance. Can you perform it for us? Would that be okay? We're going to get Ryland to perform it, and then once he's performed it, we'll talk about what we think.
So, I have 3 chips here, 1 white, 2 black. Mm-hmm. Normal chips, yeah? Examine them for me. Examine them? No magnets, no anything.
No magnets, no wires, no trapdoors, no secret compartments. They look good to me.
You sure they're no magnets or anything?
Yeah, they're fine.
No magnets, nothing. From
No
the side or
magnets.
anywhere.
No, they're good.
Okay, so they're good. Yep. Now, I'm going to put the white one there, and I want you to hold your hand out. Put this one, that hand, this one in this hand.
Okay.
I want you to close your hands and turn them over. Now I bet £10. Well, I'll say in a minute. You're going to take one chip out of one hand, and you're going to switch it for that one. There's going to be a black chip there, and whatever hand. So if you put the black one there, the white would be in that hand.
Okay.
If you put that one there,
Okay.
the white would be in that one.
I get it.
So I'm going to look away so I don't know what it is.
Yep.
Got it?
Mhm.
So I bet £10 I know which one it is.
How's that even possible?
Look, we'll try this one first.
Hang on, you know where the white chip is or black chip is?
I know where the black chip is because they're twins. They always find each other.
Really?
Yes. He says it might be that one, but he doesn't know until he checks the other one. He says he has a sense it's not that one. He says it's definitely that one.
It's this one.
Yes, he says it's that
What colour do you think that's the black one?
one. Yes, because they're twins. And I did say I bet £10.
Okay. That was a fluke.
Do it again. Look. Hands out. First one in this hand, second one in that hand.
Okay.
Those hands. Let's go.
Okay.
Done?
Mhm.
Okay, now I couldn't possibly know which one it is.
No.
Definitely not that. So it's like £20 this one, by the way. Like 20. He says that's a white one and that's a black one. We'll do it one more time, and do you know what? I'll bet £50 this time.
£50.
£50, yeah. Are you examining these? Do you want to examine them again?
Go on.
No mistakes, no anything. No locks, no anything.
No.
Okay, look, we'll do it again. This one goes in, say, this one. What's going on? Let's go. It actually wants to go in this one. This one goes on. Try and look away. With £50, I know where they're going to find each other again.
Okay.
Done? Okay.
There is no way you can get this. There's no
He
way.
says he's going to know which one it is just by checking the two. He says, not that.
Very irritating.
Yeah, they're only twins. Not my fault. They made it the exact same time, the exact same ones, and the exact same day.
So what you have here is a witch hand routine. But the premise of the witch hand routine is a little bit different. Rather than most witch hand routines, which is, hey, take this coin, put it behind your hand, I'm going to tell you which hand it's in. With this one, it's, hey, these two black chips are twins. They always find each other.
Yes.
I'm going to turn around, switch one of the black chips for a white chip, and you can immediately tell them where the black chip is, and you do this whole thing. And what's really funny is he talks about the presentation, and I've seen you do this where you go, check them out, make sure there's no magnets, make sure they don't come together, make sure there's nothing like that.
And even if they did come together, you'll be able to feel them on your hand.
Yeah,
They'll
not
press
that.
into each
Yeah, not that they do come together, because these are just regular poker chips. Well, they're not. It's gaffed in a particular way, but these are regular
One
poker
little tiny
chips.
thing.
Yeah, but they are regular poker chips in essence, and it's a completely different methodology for a witch hand routine that I've never seen before. And I've used Flux. I've used the Sharpie marker thing that Alakazam and John Miranda brought out. I've used so many different versions of doing the witch hand routine. I've even played around with psychological methods. This is the most surefire way that I've ever seen of doing witch hand, because the premise is interesting anyway, about twins and so on and so forth. And the way you've been doing it, or at least when I've been watching you, the way you've been doing it, is you do it 3 times, don't you?
Yes.
And each time you say you're going to bet them more money.
10, 20, 50.
10, 20, 50. And, you know, when you throw money into an equation, people are always more interested anyway.
So you can get AC.
And you're never going to lose. You're never going to get it. It can never go wrong. Unlike sensors, where sensors can go wrong, this can never go wrong. Like, it's just genius.
Yeah, because we had a sensor with a poker chip one, which we reviewed
A little while ago.
a little while ago.
And it went wrong.
You were practicing and the sensor didn't go off.
No, it didn't. And that's the problem. Sometimes that sort of thing can happen. I've spoken to people. It doesn't matter how good the equipment is. You know, every time you use something, whether it be flux or something else, sometimes things can go wrong, whether it be battery or whatever it may be. This method will never go wrong. It's genius. And I love the premise. I love the whole idea of you're going to take one and switch it for the white one. The black one's going to tell me where it is, and you're doing this, and it means nothing. And, you know, they're trying to. It's just really good. I really like this. Now, John Morton also includes in here an impromptu way of doing this, so that you can do this anytime, anywhere. So once you understand how the concept works, once you understand what you do, you can actually do this in a restaurant. So you can go into a restaurant that's got packets of sauce, for example, and you can take 2 red packets of sauce, 1 mustard, and you can do the exact same thing. You can say, look, hold on to the 2 ketchups. I'm going to turn around, switch one of them for a mustard.
Wait,
the 2 ketchup.
You could do that with Lego bricks. You could have.
Yes, you could.
Yeah, because if you had one.
Yeah, don't talk about the method at all. But yes, you could do it with Lego bricks. In fact, that might be something that you want to explore.
Oh, I've got an idea. I need I'll tell you afterwards.
Have you got a way of doing it?
Yeah, I've got a way of doing it with. You can just get regular Lego bricks and just do something to one of them, and it's so.
Nice. Well, Lego would kind of fall more in brand for you, you know, because you're all about the Lego and the Rubik's Cubes, aren't you? So if you could actually do this with Rubik's
Would
Cubes.
you do it in a Rubik's Cube? Yes, maybe.
Yeah, but your hands would be too big unless you did it with the hands behind the back. I don't know. You can do it with the hands behind the back. I don't know.
You can do it like that.
We can have a discussion about this off camera. How's that then? I'm worried we're going to expose this, and I really don't want to expose it. So, yes, what you saw is what you get. It is completely self-working. It is easy to do. You can do it immediately. It's written instructions, although there is a thing you can scan to watch performances and so on and so forth. But it's easy to do. It's self-working. It's an instant reset.
Yes.
You can repeat it as many times as you want to.
You don't need to do anything for a reset.
No,
You don't. You literally just put.
You just put them in your pocket and you're ready to go again?
Yeah.
That's what you were doing last night. You were just throwing them back in your pocket.
Yeah, I just did it. Say, let's do it. Like that. They opened their hands to show that they had the black one.
Yeah.
And then we can do it again straight away.
Exactly.
No turning around doing reset.
No turning around. It's great. It's absolutely brilliant. And as I say, you can do it impromptu as well. So
Yes.
I'm going to give this 100%. It is trick of the week. It is absolutely brilliant. Even if you don't do a witch hand routine, look into it because there is so many ideas that you can do with this, and there are bonus routines in this as well and bonus ideas.
Yeah.
I'm giving this 100%. What are you giving it?
100%. Yeah.
100%. Absolutely brilliant.
119.
119%.
That's what it is, trick of the week.
It is trick of the week. 119% from Ryland, 100% from me. This is really good. Highly recommended. Trick of the week. Let's move on with the final trick, which is most definitely not trick of the week in any way, shape, or form. So the final trick we've got today is the double vanishing deck, which is by Marduk and Juan Pablo. It's a nice bag.
Send me white smash this off.
It's a nice bag. It's a nice bag. That's probably where the.
He actually said we might smash this off.
Well, maybe.
But we'll have to do it off camera.
Really disappointed with this. What you have here is, okay, so let's talk about what this is. First of all, you get a tutorial, which is about 20 minutes to half an hour long. No live performance. What a surprise. And what this is a piece of plastic that looks like it's been 3D printed. And what this
I might
piece...
actually use that as a card case holder.
Don't smash it up then.
this.
It would actually be okay as a
As
card
long
case
as you get
holder,
rid
yeah.
of. As long as you get rid of.
And what it is it's designed to look like
Yeah,
a
what I'll
card
do
case.
is I'll rip the gimmicks out.
Okay, it's designed to look like a card case holder, and in reality, what it is, the best way to describe this is like a close-up version of the die box. So if you know the die box, where you've got a die, it's a classic kid show trick where you've got a die and you put it in a box and it's going from one side to the other side to the other side.
Oh, we have that with the Rubik's Cube, and then it just completely
exactly.
disappears.
Yeah, that's what you've got here. That's what this is in essence. It's an example of a die box done with apparently 2 decks of cards. So the whole concept behind this is you show that you've got a blue deck and a red deck, and then you go into a whole bunch of stuff. Now, really, it requires a jacket in order to do there's various different routines with it. Where one of the routines is you just make the packs of cards vanish. One of the routines is you make them disappear and jump into your pocket. One of them is you turn them into candy. There's a whole bunch of different stuff that you can do. You can do single deck versions, double deck versions. I'm going to do a variation of the main routine. I say variation because in the main routine, the decks vanish one at a time and go into your pocket. I'm sitting down behind the table, I haven't got a jacket on, so instead of them going in the pocket, I'm just going to make them disappear. So let's have a look at that performance so you can see kind of what this is all about, and then we'll talk about the limitations behind this, because there's certain things that we need to talk about with this. Okay, right, I'm going to show you something with 2 decks of cards. I've got a blue deck here and I've got a red deck. Do you see that?
Yes.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the blue deck first of all, just for a second. I want you to see...
That's the red deck.
Oh, I'll take out the red deck even. I'll take out the red deck. I was going to use the blue deck, but I'll use the red deck instead. Because I'm going to do the same, I'm going to do the same trick twice. And I want you to see that the red deck is normal. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I don't want you to think it's a special deck because it's not. The red deck is completely
I saw
normal.
the faces, they're all different.
Yes. And the reason I want you to see that is because I'm going to do the same trick twice. First of all with the red deck, then with the blue deck. Okay?
Yes.
And what I'm going to do, I'm going to even tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this red deck of cards completely disappear. So there's the blue deck, there's the red deck. I want to watch very carefully. All I have to do is snap. And when I do, that red deck of cards completely disappears, just leaving the blue deck. I mean, that is, when you think about it, absolutely incredible. It's not like there's a red deck hiding in there or anything. It really has gone, just leaving the blue deck. Put your finger in there. It really has gone, hasn't it? I mean, it's completely and totally gone. How cool is that? Now, I said I was going to do it again, and I am going to do it again. This time, I'm going to do it with the blue deck. So let me put the blue deck inside here. Let me just put it in, just like that. So the blue deck goes in there. Now, you can see it in there. I haven't done anything yet. Right, are you ready? Watch. 1, 2, 3, and the blue deck has vanished. Oh, you think it's over there? Hang on. No, it really has vanished. Oh, you think it's over there? No, it really has vanished. No, seriously, the blue deck of cards has completely vanished, leaving nothing but the empty case. Okay, so that's the routine. First of all, it's very gimmicked. Like you couldn't you wouldn't be able to examine this at all. And also, not only is it very gimmicked, it's unless you're very careful, it's fairly obvious what's going on here, but everything about this is gimmicked. So you have to prepare the red deck of cards as well. When you take the red deck of cards out in the routine that I just showed you, you can't have this card box examined in any way, shape or form. You can't have this part examined. Oh, there you go, you can see. You can't have this part examined, there you go, and it sticks as well, that's the other problem. It sticks. You can't have any of this examined in any way, shape or form. When you vanish the red cards, and you show that they've gone, nothing can be examined. Then you have to, and the reason I'm talking you through this, I want you to understand here, you're having to do a really weird ditch at this point into your pocket. So you say, look, the red decks have gone. I'm going to make the blue deck go as well, and that one's going to go. And then you come back over here, and this move right here, which is just ridiculous. And I honestly think that the reason there's no live performance footage in this is because they've not been able to get any live performance footage, because every time they've tried to, they've flashed exactly how this works. Because you've got to do this moment right here, and the only advice they give you is to just do it. You know, it's like literally a 1 minute thing where they show you to camera what to do. But the whole idea, and first of all, it looks terrible, doesn't it? You pointed this off to me off camera. The gimmicks don't look very good at all. But you've got to take this deck of cards and put them inside here, and the way that you do it, it does not look. Look at that. It's not broken. That's how the gimmick looks. It looks terrible. There's no way to make that look deceptive. There's no way. But then when you bring it down and open it up again, now you're into a situation where it's facing it's just dreadful. It really is. And the more I watched about this, and the more I looked at it, and the more I watched the tutorial, I was like, well, that's terrible as well. That's terrible as well. That's obvious. People will know exactly how that works. They're going to want to examine the card box. They can't examine the card box. They want to examine this. They can't examine this. And it's not even that good a trick anyway. It's okay, but I can think of 1,000 ways of doing this without actually using a gimmick like this. You know, I think there's a time and a place for a close-up version of the die box, but this isn't it. He actually describes it as the beginning as a close-up version of the die box, but it's like they've completely missed the point, because when you get to this point, you know, if this was a close-up version of the die box, you'd hear it going back and forth, but you haven't. There's no gimmick in place to enable you to make it sound like that deck of cards is going from one side of the box to the other. The whole thing just completely misses the point. It's like they had an idea for a trick, they 3D printed it, and they were like, okay, well, this isn't so bad. And then they printed the gimmicks, and they were like, well, it's not the greatest trick in the world, but let's put it on the market, somebody will buy it. I don't know when you do this. I don't know where you would do this, because this isn't going to appeal in the kids show. Kids couldn't care less about this, so it's not going to work in a kids show. It's not the sort of thing you're going to be able to do close up, because the angles aren't great at all with it, to be perfectly honest. And you wouldn't want to. How are you going to carry this around with you?
It's not going to work as just a normal thing.
Won't it? Yeah, look, you can't. Yeah, I understand. Don't do it.
I'll show you off camera.
Yeah, I don't want to. You know, you're not going to carry this around with you and put it down on the table before you start performing. I mean, you know, you may as well start wearing a playing card tie and a playing card hat if you're going to put this down on the table. You know, it just screams tacky in every single way, shape, and form. But it's just not good. It's just, and then the tricks that you can do with it aren't great at all. And the gimmicks you just saw there, to get that gimmick into that point like that, it's just. And even then, you can kind of see what's going on. And even when the gimmick's locked in place, you can still see exactly how it works because of that moment right there, right? It's just not very good. It's terrible. In fact, it's awful. It's one of the most disappointing tricks I've ever seen, and it's quite expensive because of everything that you're getting. It's not the cheapest trick in the world. I can't remember how much. I think it's like 50, 60 quid. So it's really expensive for something that you're never going to do. And maybe I'm wrong, and this comes back to something that I've been talking about on the podcast with Lloyd. I've been talking about it on various different videos. I'm absolutely sick and tired of magic dealers not doing live performance videos. Why, in this day and age, would you not include a live performance on your project? You have a trick. You've got the product, obviously. You've got video cameras because you're filming a tutorial. You've got everything you need. Why can you, even if you haven't got a video camera, you've probably got an iPhone, that's good enough. Why can't you go out into a bar, onto the streets, grab a few people and perform this so I can see exactly what it looks like? Maybe I'm wrong, but I wouldn't know because I can't see any live performances. And it drives me up the absolute wall. If you're releasing a trick and you believe in this trick and you're believing in it to the point that you want to release it to the magic community, then then go out and do a performance and include a live performance on there. Because if you don't, when I look at a trick and I think, well, that's not very good, and this is why I don't think it's very good, I'm not going to have maybe if there was a live performance, I'd change my mind. But there's no live performance. There is no excuse, absolutely no excuse to not have a live performance. If you're producing a trick and you're marketing this trick and you're putting it in Murphy's and you're producing a tutorial, go out and get. And if you're one of these people that go, well, I'm not really a performer, I don't really perform, I just create magic, fine, go find somebody. I'm sure you've got a friend that's a magician, teach it them. And if they turn around and get them to perform it, if they turn around to you and go, I can't, it's rubbish, then maybe you need to understand that it's a terrible trick. You know, if somebody turned around to me and said, hey, will you film my trick for my project? I'd probably say yes. But if I looked at it and it was like this, I'd turn around and say no, because it's terrible. It gets 0% from me.
Minus 10.
Minus 10% from him,
100.
minus 100 from him, 0% from me. Magic producers, if you are listening to this, for the love of all that's holy, start doing live performance videos and start releasing less tat.
And that's never me show.
Did you fall over?
Yes.
Why did you fall over?
I don't know.
What did you fall over? You absolute muppet. You complete and absolute total muppet. It's a good job you didn't fall over, is it, when you were doing BGT? Hi, my name's Ryland, and I'd like to... Ah! You lob a Rubik's Cube at Simon Cowell's face. toys that are puzzles, but also activate our imagination. Shall we try that again?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
And that's another review show in the box.
Now that one you did on purpose.
Okay.
Come on, stand up.
Help.
Come on, help. I'm helping you. Come on. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
If you fall over again, you're a muppet.
And that's another review show in the back.
Only one? Why are you only doing one? Is it because you're a big BGT star now and you only do it once? Guys, it is another review show in the bag. Thank you very much for tuning in once again to the Craig and Ryland review show. Let us know what you think in the comments down below of these various different tricks. Do you like them? Do you not like them? Have you got them? Have you performed them? And if there's something else you'd like to see us review, let us know in the comments down below. Also, if you haven't already done so, subscribe to this channel. Please, it really helps if you subscribe to this channel. And also, you're on almost 1,000 subscribers on your channel, which is super exciting. So subscribe to him. He's got almost 6,000 followers.
He needs help on Instagram. He's only got 2,000.
2,227, thank you. I know you've got almost 6,000. But I've still got my, it is sad, I've still got my 2,000. Sad times.
So please follow his Instagram.
Please follow my Instagram. It's embarrassing that my son has more followers than me.
And you have like thousands and thousands more subscribers. It's like the opposite for each thing.
It is indeed. Anyway, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and all that fun stuff. We're going to be back again tomorrow with a whole bunch more videos. Me and Ryan will be back again next Wednesday. So thank you once again for watching us. We will return and we'll see you again. I'm Craig.
I'm Ryland.
We'll see you again. Take care. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.